Oh, g'day guys! Welcome back to yet another video. Guys, today's a bit of a different one because I'm not next to my usual car, the big LN167. More on that later on. But next to me is my new rig / new build car for the channel. This is my 2024 Toyota Hilux N80 SR5 with the 2.8 litre turbo diesel and a 6-speed automatic. Now, you may be wondering, Xavier, why did you get rid of your beloved LN167? Well, essentially it came down to, I've had this car pretty much for a year. This just about the same time as I had the LN, a little bit earlier before the LN. You would have seen on the channel, this was in the background just chilling in the video. So I thought it came to a year since I've had the LN, and it came to the decision where it's better off that I just use this one full time and just get rid of the LN. Don't get me wrong, the LN is still an awesome rig. I wish I still had it, but the LN just needed a bit too much work spent to it. And since I had this one sitting in the shed, sort of like a every now and then car, and the LN as my daily, thought it came time now to just use this one full time as my daily and then send the LN off. Because it also came down to the LN started needing quite a bit of maintenance. It's a very old car. It's coming up to 30 years now, so it needed a bit more money spent, and I wanted mod money spent on it, if you know what I'm getting at. So rather, this one's ready to go. It's got a warranty. It's got a 5-year warranty, so it's mechanically wise, she's sound as a pound. So I thought I'll use this one. Looking at it now, she is definitely bone stock, but that's gonna change. Now, in this video, I'm also gonna walk through some of the mods that I'm wanting to do. Let's dive straight in. So, number one mod, apologies that it's a bit dirty. Once again, it's my daily, so she gets used quite a bit. Front, I'm wanting to put an off-road animal Toro bull bar. Now, there's two different bull bars that off-road animals sell for the N80. You got your hoopless bar, and then you got your triple hoop bar. I want to go for the triple hoop bar. I like that look better. Don't get me wrong, if you love your hoopless bars, go for it. But since this is my car, I want to do a triple hoop bar. Now, off-road animal, because I reckon their bull bars look pretty tough. They got that aggressive look to them, and you can't go wrong with them. They got rated recovery points from factory. It's got a light bar in the middle, like a mounting spot, and you have the option to add spotlights as well. And another cool thing about the off-road animal bull bar is that they have the option to run 8-inch side spotlights. So pretty much you got your light bar in the middle, and then you got your 8-inch lights directing to the outside of the road. So I reckon that looks pretty cool, if you ask me. And once again, it's still keeping up with ADR and all the sensors that this bad boy has. So that's all good. Another thing that's good about the off-road animal bull bar is that it only weighs 65 kilograms, which, if you ask me, that's pretty light. And not to mention, you got the option to add a winch later on down the track. So I reckon that's pretty cool. Nothing much else is gonna change. I do plan on putting a top bonnet protector. Apart from that, that's pretty much it on the front end. If we move down to the side, now Besides where it starts to get a bit interesting for later on. One thing for sure is I'm getting rid of these factory wheels and tires. I actually hate these wheels. I wish they still had the multi-spoke from the first generation of the N80s. I reckon they look a lot better in general. The tire size for this is 265 60/18s. Now, if you ask me, that's a bit too much wheel and not enough tire. So, I'm gonna change these to 275 70/17s later on down the track. It's gonna give that, it's gonna be a true 32. It's gonna give that bit more clearance. It's gonna offer a bit more tire, less wheel, and wheel wise, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but it's gonna be ATIs. I'm going to go for ATIs. That's all I'm gonna say. The color, I won't spoil it just yet, but I reckon it's gonna suit the black and the gray on this rig. Suspension wise, it's currently rocking the factory, like short on the front, long at the back sort of situation. And that's gotta change. My plan is to see the good old boys down at Dobinson Spring and Suspension and get them to do a 2-inch front. Now you might be asking, Xavier, leave the rear standard. Yes, more on that in a second. Shock wise, I'm gonna go for Dobinson's MRRs, which is your remote res shock. Now I reckon they're pretty good. They're a bit pricey though. You're looking at $1,200 for the front and around $1,200 for the rear. So they're a bit pricey, but I've heard some decent things about them and they're good all-round shock. The reason why I'm leaving the back standard is because it already sits pretty high from factory, and I've done some measurements. My calculations are, if I just put 2-inch remote res shocks at the back, leave the springs the way they are, in theory, I should get a bit of a Cali lean, which is what I'm after. I love my Cali leans. The more I get, the more of a wank factor, but I still reckon they're cool nevertheless. Another thing I forgot to mention about the front is I do plan on getting some UHF aerials. Now, eventually, there'll be 2 aerials here. Now you might be asking, Xavier, are you gonna hook up the second area? No, once again, I'm after the wank factor. So, but my good mate Tom will be eventually buying me a UHF, which I'm very thankful for. One thing else I forgot to mention about the front is I do plan on seeing at Mark's Caravan Center. I'm gonna get one of your anti-glare strip, that's right. One thing that I really like about them is that unlike most of your generic ones, they actually have the holes cut out for all your sensors on your dash, like your auto lights. So I think that's pretty cool. So you're still maintaining all your function as normal. Continuing on, these need to go. You might be asking yourself, what are you gonna go with? I plan on going with fat bars. Just your fat bars, angled rock sliders. They're pretty cool. I like them. And Tom and the guys at Fat Bars are just, they do really good work. So I'll hit them up and get some sorted for this. One thing I forgot to mention about the suspension is UCAs. With your N80s, you need to upgrade your UCAs, because the moment you put a 2-inch lift, essentially your top UC upper control arm will start to go down as you raise it, eventually hitting your coil on your strut. So that's why you need to get an aftermarket one, that way you can adjust it and all of that. Keep in mind as well, if you got a wider track like your Rogues and your GRs, they are different from your standard ones, so keep an eye on that. I do plan on later on putting a roof rack. That is yet to be decided, but I want something that's non-drillable, that's not required to drill, like something that you don't have to drill into your roof, because with your N80s, that's one of the big downsides. you gotta drill into your channels, and I'm not all about that. I want to keep it as like, if the day comes to sell this, I want to sort of like be the option to undo it, if that makes sense. Be able to undo it rather than it stuck there permanently. And once again, I run into another issue. Hey, there's holes in my roof. I gotta try and make sure they're sealed. So that's another factor. I do plan, long term, I do plan on putting a tray back on this. The guys at Cod's Fabrication, they do some amazing work, and I really want to support them, support a local business. So I want to, instead of going with a big company like MW, which I was going with originally, I'm going to go with Cod's Fabrication and just give them guys a bit of love because they do amazing work. That's long term. Short term, since it's already a tub, my plan for this eventually is get rid of the sports bar, get someone to make a aftermarket custom headboard to where I can put one of those outdoor speakers and actually get it looking a bit and like sort of a wing, get a wing sort of happening. I reckon that'll be pretty cool. So if anyone knows anyone that can do something like that, definitely hit me up. Apart from that, I'm gonna get rid of the soft tonneau cover, and I wanna get up one of those roller shutters. They're a bit expensive, but I reckon they'll be perfect for the job. Cause next thing I wanna do is I wanna put a tub rack on this. Now, so many options once again, but I'm gonna get a King's tub rack, and I'm gonna customize it to be as low as I can. Essentially have that as like a roof rack for your tub. So that's gonna go in there, and then get it all customized. That way it'll be nice and low. It'll look beautiful. Why is this on? Anyway, round to the back. Now, tail lights. Bush Doof do some blackout tail lights. I'm planning on actually getting them. They're $500, but they look pretty nice. They still have that nice sleek look to them. Round to the rear, I do plan, once again, fat bars. Tom, I'm gonna hit you up again for a rear bar for these. The rear bar on N80s from Fat Bars look really good, so I'm gonna be hitting them up about that, see what they can do for me. Apart from that, not much is gonna change on the outside. As you can see right now, she's pretty bare bones. Like, I just got my normal like stuff, like my air compressor, my King's toolkit, and my recovery gear. Eventually, my plan is to put a King's drawer. I'm thinking on the 1300, a bit longer, and that way it will go all the way to the end. On this side, gonna go for a fridge slide. Hopefully King's can sort me out on that. So fridge slide will go out. I'll run my 37 litre for a bit, but my plan is eventually to go and try King's 60 litre fridge. I've heard some pretty decent things about them, so we'll see what happens with that. And then essentially just have all of this on the outer and the back. Just try and sort something out on that. There's gonna be a video when I do all of that later on, so keep an eye out on that. But apart from that, she's pretty much gonna stay relatively as she is right now, with a bit of slight modifications. And then obviously the reason why I'm getting the roller shutter is because your tub rack is gonna be there, so it's gotta block any sort of access, any sort of easy access to inside the tub, and it just gives it a bit more waterproof resistance. But apart from that, it's gonna stay tub for a while. I never thought I would say that. We're talking about any performance upgrades, any of that good stuff. I do plan on eventually putting a 3-inch DPF back exhaust, get it sounding a bit more angry. My plan is eventually, along with the exhaust, I'm gonna hit up the boys over at Fats Fabrication. I've seen them do amazing work and I would love to support them. So I'm gonna get a 4-inch Stano exhaust from them. So I do plan on getting a 4-inch Stano from them. That way I can have all that induction noise. And along with that, I do plan on getting a aftermarket airbox from them. That way I can get as much air as I can without necessarily upgrading any performance of the engine. Because this still has a warranty, but once the warranty ends, I plan on getting a bit of a Timmy tickle, bit of a Tommy tickle, bit of a chewed up on this thing. She's gonna get, not sure yet, not sure what I really want to do, but just a little, just a bit more power once this thing is out of warranty. Cause the thing is, it'll be a few years old by then. Things would have worn in. It probably would have around 100,000 Ks at the rate I'm driving it right now. So, giving it a bit of a boost, bit of a clean out from the intake as well, because it'll probably be needing it. It's gonna be probably good for it, I reckon. But apart from that, nothing much else. So I do plan on seeing the guys at Living Loose for some nice cool aftermarket custom mud flaps. I reckon that'll be pretty cool because they do awesome work as well. But apart from that, nothing much else that I haven't mentioned is gonna change. But I got some pretty good ideas. Right now, I've been testing it sort of behind the scenes, and once I get the suspension and the snorkel, keep testing and seeing where I'm at with it. But everything that I said is what I plan on doing. Just depends on what I want to do first. One more sort of big modification is I want to get some bush wraps on this. I've already done a sample kit review video. If you want to see it down below, I've actually posted it on YouTube as well. But get some bush wraps on this thing, get it all protected. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much my rig rundown, and yeah, what my plans are for this. I'll come back probably in this time next year and do a part 2. But yeah, or an update video I should say. But yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios!